Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny, and today we're going to have a little bit of fun this morning. We have some fun news, so we are going to be opening for this season coming this Saturday. So February the 19th, Creekside will be open for the 2022 growing season. It excites me and makes me very nervous all at the same time. It excites me because spring is definitely in the air here in North Carolina. I know a lot of y'all are probably still covered in snow, and I'm sorry. Here in North Carolina, we have had some beautiful weather. Now it's cool in the morning, freezing, but then it warms up to the high 50s, 60s. There's just a different feel in the air. The birds have a different kind of song that they're singing. People are clamoring to come shop at the nursery, so we are going to go ahead and open this Saturday. For now, we are only going to be open on Saturdays from 9 to 3. We'll have it on all our social media, different platforms, but beginning this Friday, February the 19th, 2022, we will be open from 9 to 3, so come see us. We have a lot of work to do in that meantime because we still have construction stuff around. So you can see behind me, right? It's a mess. We've got the bobcat. We were trenching the last 2 days. Jerry was bringing over a fiber line from the house so we can get high-speed internet over here. We had to bring more electrical to the barn. So right now, we're not ready to open in the least little bit because it's a hot mess, and I like to have things neat and tidy and very welcoming for when we open. So part of that is this morning, I thought it would be really fun to put together a container of some of the beautiful material that we got from our friends over at King's. Remember, I talked about a couple weeks ago, they brought it to us from a show. So we've got all these beautiful Proven Winners annuals that are nice and big and really ready to be moved up, and why not, let's just go ahead and make a container. I have some tips that I'm going to share with you about how to create a beautiful container. We also got in this week another order of the Heartwood birdhouses. Yeah, it's a little bit more full than last time, isn't it? So I'm going to flip the camera around and show them to you. So we will have these available here at the nursery for our customers to purchase this coming Saturday. If you are not local and you want to buy a birdhouse, we do not ship, not shipping. Go to Heartwood's website. You can order directly from them and they will ship it to you. The link for their website is in the video description. So if you're not coming to Creekside and you want a birdhouse, Heartwood is happy to ship it to you. I'm not. I love you. I'm not shipping. So let's just flip the camera around because, if y'all love these birdhouses as much as I do, then we're all in trouble. Heartwood better start chunking out the birdhouses because they are so stinking cute. Okay, so here we go. I barely was able to squeeze them all onto the shelves, but they are so cute. I love them because they are high quality. They are made here in the United States. Heartwood is located in Star, Mississippi, handmade, high quality. They look like they should belong in your house because they're so beautiful, but they are actually meant for the birds. So you can safely, happily put them out in your yard and welcome the birds to come nest in them. Different houses will have different size holes. So the beautiful blue one on the top shelf behind me, in front of me, that has a bigger hole. It's a 1.5 inch hole, I believe. Those are perfect for bluebirds. But then if you come down here to these sweet little guys, you'll notice that that hole is smaller, like for your wrens. So different birds require different size holes for the birdhouses. And they will, if you go to their website, you can see what birdhouse has, the diameter of the hole. But they have a whole bunch of like churches. So those are so sweet with that copper accent. I love this white one. That one is new to the order, so sweet. And all the birdhouses, you can easily access them to clean them out. And then look at these cute, these are called the chick houses. So cute. I love those big pops of color right there. So sweet. And then the ones that have the vertical lines, those are butterfly houses. Really sweet, and they all come, the butterfly houses come with a post, so you can put them in the ground. There's a screw, the post screws into it, so you can easily put them in the ground. So there you go. So my sweet people who are coming to see us, you will be able to shop here with these birdhouses. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, and you can see the blue container behind me. We're going to go ahead and make a container to welcome folks to the greenhouse, because I know people are going to want to come in and see the new greenhouse. So we're going to put a container together using some beautiful annuals that will just go for months and months and months. So I'm going to show you some tricks that I have learned on how to create a gorgeous container really easy that will last you for months, because we are in North Carolina, right? And we have a huge long growing season. Now it is February. When you come shop, you're not going to be buying annuals. It's too soon to buy annuals. The only reason I'm putting this container together right now is because we have all this beautiful material that is nice and mature, and this is me helping you to plan for your summer garden. So I know y'all are excited. It is February. It is too early to be buying annuals and trying to take them home and put them in the ground. You put them in the ground, they're gonna die. This is false spring, right? We have those different layers of the weather. We could probably still get snow. I really don't want snow, but we probably could get snow. It is North Carolina, you never know. So this is to inspire you and to help you plan for about 6 weeks from now. So just be patient. Let me show you what we're gonna do. All right, so what the plants that I'm gonna use today are, we've got this gorgeous salvia. Oh, this is new from Proven Winners. This is the unplugged pink. If you were looking for a pollinator magnet, unplugged pink is a wonderful one to do. This is in that gallon size container, so it is ready to get out of this container. So we're gonna use that. Then we are going to use a lantana. This is the Luscious Royale Cosmo. Fantastic, love lantana, of course, loves the heat. Another pollinator magnet. This is the grande size container. We're gonna use that. We're gonna use something for a little bit of a filler. The beloved, the one, the only, Diamond Frost Euphorbia. Gorgeous color, nice, light, airy feel to it. Very wispy, fantastic. And then I thought, you know what, let's just go for it. We're gonna use this white licorice. This is a type of helichrysum. This will be our trailer. Now, those are the plants that I'm gonna use. And you might be going, well, Jenny, that's fine and dandy, but I don't have a clue how to create a container. All right, so this is something that you need to know. One, pick plants that have the same light conditions. Are we going for shade or are we going for sun? Here, we're gonna be sun. This is all sun-loving plants. So they all have the same requirements. So sun requirements, water requirements. All of these are gonna have the exact same water requirements. Some plants like to be dry, maybe like your portulaca. Some plants like to be really moist and hate to dry out. I would say let's see, what that would be, alyssum. It hates to dry out. So you don't want to put portulaca and alyssum together, because one likes it really dry, one likes it consistent moisture. Those two don't go together. These are all the same. So just average water needs. So they can handle being really wet and they can handle being dry a little bit, and they'll be fine. And then we're gonna go for kind of that thriller, filler, spiller recipe. You don't have to follow this recipe, but if you don't know where to begin, it gives you an idea. So a thriller is your top, kind of your biggest piece. That will be our salvia. Your filler is something that's gonna fill in the sides. That will be our Diamond Frost Euphorbia and our lantana, and then a spiller. What's gonna trail over? That will be our white licorice helichrysum. So that gives you an idea. Now you're like, okay, fine, I got that, but I don't know what plants to use. This is one reason why we love Proven Winners, is because they are so stinking helpful. Let's say you go through the nursery and you see a plant that you just love. For example, the salvia. You see the salvia and you're like, I don't know what else I'm gonna use, but I wanna use that salvia. This is what I tell people all the time. If you go to Proven Winners website, right there on the bottom for you. It's provenwinners.com. Type in the plant name, unplugged pink, do a search, go to that plant's page, and then you'll see all the information about that plant. Like, they give you everything you've ever wanted to know about the plant. Now, scroll all the way down, and at the bottom, it will say recipe. And if you click on the recipe, it shows you all these different combinations that Proven Winners has come up with using that one plant. And then if you click on the recipe that you like, then it tells you all the plants that are in that recipe, how many you need, and how to plant them. So it's really foolproof. I have used that on a professional level many times. I know that I'll see a lantana and I'm like, I love it. You know, what are some ideas that I can use with it? And I'll go and do that search. It makes life so much easier, and it takes the guesswork out of creating a container. So with all that said, Jenny's going to find her gloves, because you know me, and y'all were so sweet when I did that video about the 15 perennials for the South. This poor hand was covered in Band-Aids, and a bunch of y'all were like, what happened to your hands? And I told you, like, I am so rough on my hands. That's why I have to wear gloves. So it wasn't anything horrible, but I had tinfoil had cut me on my knuckle, which was awful. And then Brenna still has her puppy teeth, and yeah, quite sharp. Now, how to make a container. First thing you need to do is get the biggest size container that your space will allow. This is a ceramic glazed container. It's probably 14 inches in diameter, and it's probably maybe 16 inches tall. So this is a good size. Next, get a really good high quality potting soil. I use Proven Winners in all my containers. I love it. It does great for the South. It doesn't retain too much water. It doesn't stay soggy wet, but it drains well, but yet it does hold water when I need it to, if that makes any kind of sense. I've used other potting soils before, and they just got really heavy and compacted, and they didn't drain well. And here in the South, I need things to drain, because you know we can get just tons of rain, and it's, you know. So Proven Winners is what I love. It's what we offer here at the nursery. Now, fill up your container. Do not put any kinds of fillers in the bottom of your container. Don't put pine cones. Don't put packing peanuts. I know you think that you're saving money and you're making, you're making your potting soil go further. Well, that may be true, but guess what? Those packing peanuts and those pine cones do nothing to help your plants. It doesn't retain moisture, doesn't retain food. Your roots can't grow down in there, so don't do it. Because I'm planting this in February, obviously it's gonna stay in the greenhouse for a while. But once I move it outside, this container really could go till November. So you're talking about from February to November. I need as much soil in here as I possibly can. So there we go. So it is in there. I'm not going to, let's see, we're just gonna go ahead and take the plants out. I tend sometimes to overfill my container. Now, these plants, you will see, have a nice healthy root system. I'm not gonna go in there crazy. You know, if you've watched me for any length of time, I really don't break up my root system. So all I'm gonna do is with my thumb and just do it just a little bit. I don't wanna go in here and absolutely destroy the root system of this plant. So it's gonna kind of go a little bit off to the side as such. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my soil up around it. Now, it is no, it's not November, it's February. And these poor little plants have been through the ringer. So it's okay that it's parts of it don't look so good. Like I've got some leaves right here that are under stress, so I'm just gonna clip them off. That is the thing about these salvias. Man, they respond really, really well to pruning. And I dare say most annuals are gonna respond really well to pruning. So if something doesn't look good or it's spent, you can go ahead and trim it off. It's fine. It just causes the plant to put on more new growth, which means new flowers for you. So it's great. So if something looks sad or if something's broken, it's all right. Just clip it off. It'll regrow and be nice and full. So Got that in there. Gonna go ahead and add some more soil. I do a dance back and forth with the soil. It's all right. If you have a method that works for you, oh, great. There we go. Now, next is the Luscious Royale Cosmo, which is a beautiful pink. Y'all, we have a honeybee. I so wish the camera were getting this. Sweet little honeybee came in for a little drink. All right, so this is not very root bound at all. It is very dry, so we're gonna get it in here. We're gonna tuck it over here to the side. Add a little more soil. Jenny's making a mess. It's not gardening till you get dirty, right? All right. Now, there are a couple of ways that you can go about planting your container. We've already talked, we've got the basics covered. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about, are you planting for longevity, or are you planting for more of like an instant wow? Depends totally on the situation, right? Maybe you're having a party or a get together this weekend and you need an instant wow. So then you're gonna plant and pack more plants in here than if you were thinking long term. Got the diamond frost right there. I tend to plant for longevity because here in the South, we're so hot, we have such a long growing season. I don't want to be redoing my containers every month, every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks. So I plant for longevity. Not to say that one is right and one is wrong. I have a great friend who absolutely loves to pack her containers really full. That's how she gardens. Yay! This is how I garden. Yay! One's not right, one's not wrong. It's all good. Now, this is the helichrysum going in here for my spiller. There we go. Make sure you don't have any air pockets in there. I have plenty of soil. Everybody is good. Now, what's going to happen, obviously I'm going to leave this in the greenhouse until the threat of frost is over, which for us, our last frost date is April the 15th. This is going to stay inside the greenhouse. The salvia, none of this can handle a freeze. The salvia, heaven knows the lantana can't, helichrysum, or the diamond frost. These are hot weather loving plants. They will stay in here, they will grow, they will come together and do magnificently well. So when I have my little honeybees that come in, they can come and they can feast on the salvia and the lantana. I am gonna go ahead and grab the hose. I'm gonna water this in really well. And then maintenance on this, I don't have to deadhead. I don't have to trim back. I'm just gonna let it go. So regular water and regular food. This is Proven Winners water-soluble fertilizer. These plants are heavy feeders. In order to produce their blooms, they need food. The Olympics are going on right now, yes? So those Olympic athletes have to have a really great diet so that they can perform at their absolute peak. Same thing for these plants. They need food. Food equals flowers. So I will apply this maybe like once every 10 days, once every 2 weeks. Super simple. When you open it up, because I get questions on this all the time about how you use this water-soluble fertilizer. Inside, there are 2 bags, right? And it's just a granular. So you can open up the bags, you can put, dump them in here if you want to, or you can leave it in the bag. And there is a little scoop. You do 1 scoop of the fertilizer per 1 gallon of water in your watering can. I have a 2-gallon watering can, so I get 2 scoops. 2 scoops go in there, I zhuzh it up with my hand, mix it up well, and then I just water as normal. Yeah, it's not rocket science. So on a day that you're supposed to water, don't water, mix up your fertilizer, and then just water and feed as you normally would. It's that easy. I love the Proven Winners because it has a specific formula of iron in there that helps the plant stay nice and dark and green, and of course gives great food for the bloom. So I'm just going to probably leave this right here because it's in a perfect spot. It's a big container. While I work harder, grab the hose and get it watered. When you're watering your container, remember your goal is to get the soil wet and the roots saturated, not necessarily your foliage. The vast majority of your water intake from your plants happens at the root level. Yes, the leaves will absorb water, but your goal is to get the soil moist and the roots really well saturated, not necessarily this. So you won't see me watering this plant, you know, with this motion, because especially too in a greenhouse, when my foliage is wet in this greenhouse, maybe it doesn't dry as well if it's outside in nature. That's why we have all these fans, is to circulate the air. So if my leaves are constantly wet, then they'll get, you know, they can get funguses and bacteria, they'll get moldy and rot and just look really unattractive. So your goal is to water soil, not your foliage. If your foliage, of course, is gonna get wet, that's okay. So everybody is in here, and you can go ahead after you plant it and make sure that all your, because your soil is gonna settle, make sure you don't have any little pockets that need to be added to. Like if your soil settles down and you see a lot of your roots exposed, go ahead and cover those up. But yeah, I mean, and here in the greenhouse, because there's so much fresh soil in here, as opposed, you know, the new soil versus the soil that has roots in it is, there's not as many roots, right, as it will be. So we don't have to water this. I mean, it could be 3 or 4 days before I need to water this again. You just have to go in here and monitor your water. People ask all the time, you know, how often should I water? Well, as often as your plants need it. So in here, maybe it's 4 days, maybe it's a week. I don't really know yet. We'll figure that out. But if this were August and this was outside, it could be twice a day. So you just have to play it by ear. Your plants will let you know if they're dry because they will get really shriveled up and limpy. If your plants are too wet, a lot of times your leaves will start to turn like a yellow color. That means there's too much moisture. Stop watering them. Of course, and then the slimy, nasty stuff, and they'll just kind of fall apart. Too much water. Another tip that I have for you before we end the day is, especially when you're doing containers, go ahead and save your tags. I like to take my plant tags and put them in the pot kind of in the back. I also do this here at the nursery, so if somebody comes up and they're like, oh, what is this really beautiful plant, then they can look and here's the tag, and they can then go find it in the nursery itself. So here, I'm just gonna kind of tuck it off to the side right there. If it were at my house, I don't want to see the tag, so I stick it way down in there. That way, if I happen to forget what it is, you know, at the end of the season, or I really like that plant, it did really, really well for me, I will save that tag, put it in my gardening journal, so the next season I can look for that plant specifically, because the biggest lie that I tell myself is, oh, I'll remember that. No. So that is it for the day, y'all. I hope you found this fun. If you are local and you want to come see us, or even if you're not local and you want to come see us, come on. Like I said, we will have it all, the updated hours on our social media channels, so Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. We'll have all of that information. Make sure we're open before you come. We're not open 24/7, folks. So we do have limited hours, especially in the beginning, and then as we move through the rest of the season, we still have limited hours, but just check the resources first before you head out to come see us. We are excited. There's a lot of work to be done, but we cannot wait to see you hopefully hug your neck. As always, thanks so much for gardening with Creekside. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.